Three Grots in a Vox is intended for a mature audience. This means there will be crude language and discussions of adult themes, especially if we're talking about Tactical Marines or Gabriel Seth. Viewer discretion is not only advised but encouraged. All opinions are our own and often given for humorous purposes. Any advice is given largely for entertainment purposes and would probably be ignored. But if you do learn something useful, count it as a win.
Hello and welcome to episode 9 of this ongoing quick look through all of the
episode
10.
8.
Is it?
8.
All right. 8. What? You're just confusing me now. Is it? What one are we on? Are we on 9?
There are 9 missions. We're on the penultimate one.
Is this number 9?
No, it's number 8.
32.
Oh, that's just confusing now. It's Death and Zeal.
It's Death and Zeal.
Number 8.
If you're still with us after 8 episodes, thank you so much. Please like and subscribe.
Responsibly.
All right, tell us about Death and Zeal.
So we've got a 5 objective map. We've got the quarter deployment once again, exactly the same measurements as the last one we looked at that does the same thing. So you've seen it on 2 missions so far. There's an objective in the middle. It's a hold 1, hold 2, hold more. You gain the CP during the command phases as you would normally do. And it doesn't look like there's anything that limits your CP gain in this one. No.
Nope.
So what's the primary plus, John?
Well, just before we hit that, in this mission, if a player controls an objective marker at the end of the command phase with one or more units within range of OBSEC, it remains under the player's control unless the opponent controls at the end of any subsequent phase, even if there are no models on it. So you can move on to one of these with OBSEC, you can control it.
Walk off, John.
And it does mean you can walk off, yes. So this is the second map that lets you walk off. It's worth noting because sometimes that walk off can be really powerful. If the opponent's ever weak in a quarter and you think like, yeah, I'm good there, you could just fuck off.
Did you know that you can raise a banner and then walk off and still continue scoring the banner?
Yeah, that's good as well,
the banner
isn't it?
stays up until your opponent takes it away.
Yeah.
There's
nothing more of a power move than just going fuck off and just walking away.
Direct assault. At the end of each player's turn, the player whose turn it is scores 2 victory points if they satisfy one of the conditions, or 3 if they satisfy both. The conditions are they control every objective marker on the battlefield. Okay, so like no one's doing that ever.
Yeah. If you're doing that, you're winning the
You've done
bloody
that,
game.
you've
It's
already
kind
won,
of
haven't you?
irrelevant.
Yeah, I mean, like, you only need to read that rule if you've already won the game and it's turn 5, or they destroyed at least one enemy unit within the range of an objective marker at the start of their turn. So in some ways, this plays a little...
Hang on, you missed a bit there.
Okay, sorry.
You have to control every objective marker on the battlefield, or control at least one objective marker that you did not control at the start of your turn.
Oh, right, yeah, my bad. So you can...
That's more doable.
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird one. So it's, yeah... You can get 3.
That has direct synergy with the Space Marine secondary
shock tactics.
Shock tactics, yeah. So that could be a potentially valuable pick on this one because it rewards you for doing that for the primary plus and as a secondary objective as well.
So you kill a unit on an objective and then you control it. That gives you 3 a turn. However, if you ever get to the point where you control everything, you kind of get 3 per turn.
That's not going to happen.
It's a stupid thing.
But you're right. In some ways, it reminds me a lot of Stranglehold in that, like, you see the opponent on an objective, you figure out what you can kill that objective, you just go onto it, you kill it, and that's your 3 points. So yeah, if you know you need to do that for the primary, shock tactics would be a simple pick for a Space Marine player.
And if
you just get double the points.
Deeper on it, go shock tactics and oaths of moment, just to be even more annoying.
And then you just try every turn you're going to kill the opponent on the middle.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's going to give you like 10 points a turn just by killing one unit in the middle and taking it from the opponent.
Secondaries that you're doing. Yeah.
So if you've got an OBSEC unit or you've got Rights of War banner or something like that and you're using it smart, you can get a lot of points just straight away out of that.
You've got no reason to threaten your enemy's DZ objective unless you especially want to.
It is quite a good one, though, if you were thinking about taking something like... Relentless, because they've got such a big deployment zone, you're going to find it quite easy to get in their deployment zone.
Yeah, to find a
hole.
hole.
They've got no reason to be it. So if you've got something like assault squads, this sort of thing, that are cheap and deep strike, or your guerrilla tacticsing things, or reserving whatever, you just come on and score that, and they've got no reason to be there.
R&D I'd be relatively happy with doing on this one. I don't think I'd want to do engage on here because I'd want to go where I wanted to go and not be forced to be...
It's another one where you're going to get 3 quarters, isn't it?
Yeah, realistically, rather than 4. Which, if you're happy with, you're fine. If you're not, don't worry.
Yeah.
You could potentially stay in 2 quarters on this game and not go outside it if you weren't taking engage.
Potentially, yeah.
If the opponent doesn't have anything that's fast moving or deep striking, then banners could be a possibility in this one. You might not max the banners, but you could seriously get 10 points because you could take a banner in one of these no man land quarters in turn 1 with like a concealed position unit, and then you could simply move off if they're obsec and like protect it from further away so the opponents can never get onto it.
This is another one where you don't actually have to have the center.
That's true.
True, yeah.
The center is there if you did want to go down that, but if you're playing Death Guard or something and they've got big blobs of Blight Lords, then there is nothing to say, you have the center, mate, I'm going to go and take all of these other objectives while you sit there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then if that's the case, then maybe engage on all fronts is a good choice.
Yeah, totally. And then that Monday is a great choice as well, and maybe banners is a great choice too. So
take the others and let them have the middle.
I'd strongly consider bikes for a unit for a game like this. Fast, tough, cheap.
I would if I was playing Dark Angels.
Yeah.
Otherwise, 80 or 90 points for a unit of 3 bikes zipping around at 20 inches a turn.
Very true. Bonus points if you can give them obsec, and then you control the objective, and the bikes can move off. I guess you can do that with your banner and
like Raven Wing bikes.
Yeah.
Yep, certainly.
Okay, again, the other thing to say is this is a map that has this strange circle in the middle, which means that from the tips, you're only about...
in your game?
You're only... Pardon?
Really?
Just working out a 9-inch bubble in the middle is just a pain in the arse.
I've never found it that difficult, because a lot of those, you can get a lot of like 9-inch templates that people use for measuring deep strikes and so forth. So having a 9-inch pre-measured ruler that you just use and measure where the middle is and wave it out from there, I've never found it to be much of a problem.
Yeah, but then it's not circular, is it? And if it's, I used a compass last time I played this.
Okay, compass will work.
And I just drew a circle.
Maybe you could get and laminate a bit of card that's 9 inches, 9 inches, and then circular.
That would work as well. Yeah, I just wanted to say that the 2 deployment zones are super close together. At the longest point, they're 18 inches apart. At the closest point, they're about 13 inches apart. Fast-moving armies, I feel... you can threaten a lot. Yeah.
It's both potentially really powerful and a real problem.
Yes,
both at the same time for you.
If you have an obscuring piece of terrain at the front of your deployment zone that you can put a squad of Death Company behind, right as far forward as you can as a Blood Angels player, the opponent's like they don't know what to do, because even if they are 6 inches back from this, which is basically them halfway back in their deployment zone, you're still on top of them turn 1. So yeah, it's an interesting map. I've played it at a tournament. I think it's fine. I guess you just have to remember that you can walk off, because sometimes if you forget that, or if you forget that opponents are doing it, it can come back and hurt you.
Keep moving and keep attacking objectives, and they're going to want to be doing the same.
Yeah.
I haven't got anything funny to say.
Okay, yeah. Well, then we'll be back for episode number 9.
Bombshell.
No,
maybe not. Cheers.
Bye-bye, people.
Bye-bye.
See you for the last one.